the humbled slaves, voluntary slaves, sophisticated morons, the bastard, the bad idiots, and the cyberbarians, by the way. So the Lagos Abobakus, the Oshogbo Alimajiris. If you are watching me, you yourself, be honest, oh, do you believe in what Wale Edun just said there? Like, if you want to be honest and you are not just like currently suffering your episode of mental disorder, which is exactly what you call the bad idiots. Would you go to bed tonight and just say, Wale Edun said, in the next few weeks, in the next few months, you are going to begin to see some changes. And then, yeah, you believe that, right? Yeah, enough to just pay all this keeping quiet and pretending and somehow still having energy to speak or try to have strength to defend the Tinubu. By the time you see what they say, bedu enter body. Chai. Enter body. When this bedu and now they actually say when this shege enter body, bros enter body, when this shege enter body, baba enter body, even small picking go scream. A being power, oh, I swear. And some said maybe if that's gonna be what will really sort of what will reformat the brain of a lot of adults. In that contraption, maybe it's going to be a good thing positively on the other side, but I don't know. Poverty in Nigeria, hunger in Nigeria has been weaponized. And I saw somebody saying to Sheung there that he should stop screaming, because food is expensive now. If you go scream, you go get empty stomach. And then you go realize it no matter that much. But the point here is this. Would you listen to this? If you're an investor watching this, or if you have been those who actually made their money genuinely, would you take your money to an economy that this criminal is talking about? But people are packing up. Businesses are folding up in Nigeria. I'm talking about hundreds of millions of, business investments in Nigeria. Hundreds of millions of dollars. They are leaving. So today, the Central Bank of Nigeria issued revocation of the license of Heritage Bank. And according to them, they have tried their best to try to not let the bank go under. Tinubu's government, in the last 1 year, they have destroyed everywhere. In case if you don't know, Boko Haram already destroyed what was called the leftover of the contraption. Tinubu is just like the Undertaker, the man that is coming to take Nigeria to the grave. That would have been Peter Obi. I promise you, if it was Peter Obi by now, majority of people would have agreed that Nigeria is not redeemable. Everybody just park. Fine, go back to your country. Sure, you get now, kind of. So Tinubu and his gang, they've made monetary policies that will further put Nigeria businesses at risk, including the banking sector. According to them, the banks in Nigeria will need to recapitalize very soon. Many of them have given out bad loans that they will never get back. And the majority of those they gave the money to, they were not businesses, they were politicians. Okay? That makes it very difficult. So Heritage Bank have lost it. Over 500 billion naira bad loan. The loans they couldn't get back. That's what the central bank said. Now, they've taken over the bank. Because Nigeria is in such a very bad place right now, they could not find a new buyer, a new investor that is going to buy the debt, buy the bank, and the workers, all of you, staff of a Heritage Bank, so that you can keep your jobs. Now you are all going to lose your jobs. So with this, I don't know, maybe some of you you've seen this coming. You saw it coming. I'm saying that here in the UK, right, even if your bank is in distress, then the government that is coming in to take over that business, they would have to sort you out too. But in Nigeria, you know that all of you staff of Heritage Bank, you are going to be the ones to bear the brunt. Very soon, I'm going to start seeing protests, placards. The sacked former staff of Heritage Bank, they have not paid our money. They did not pay us all the thing they said they will pay us, because that's going to happen soon. Okay? Among others who have lost their jobs because their businesses are folding up, banks and bankers too, you better begin to actually look for an alternative jobs, right? All of you will soon become the collateral damage of the monetary policies of Tinubu, a policies that is disguised as a means of cleansing the banking sector in Nigeria, but it is not. It is to take it over, as well as get as many of them as as owners of some of those banks. They are troubled. They are distressed. At the end of the day, majority of you are going to be the victims, though. Yeah, you're going to lose your job. You're going to lose your pension. You're going to lose every other thing that you were supposed to get for working for a bank. And the part of your life that you've possibly used for their service, right? 5 years, 10 years, 6 years, 4 years, all of that will now have to go to nothing. Or maybe you will live with an experience, though. Maybe you will live with an experience. But yes, that has been made. The announcement was made today. Heritage Bank is no more. Then what happened to the people said? What happened to the depositors' money? Well, there is no real clarity. So the depositors' money would have to be you having to go to the, what is the name of these people they appointed? There is an agency that Kadobi appointed to oversee the liquidation of the bank and the bank assets. Okay, so you would have to go to the Nigerian Deposit Insurance Corporation, NDIC. All right, they will be the one to answer all your questions. If you have money at the Heritage Bank, or if you are a staff of Heritage Bank, all your questions should go to them, not to me. You already know that anyway, so I'm just trying to tell the rest of the world. Now, going forward, I want to, this wahala of new old national anthem. I love what this veteran actor had to say. Kind of funny, but is that actually the problems of Nigeria as we speak? Priority. Nigerians are not the priority of these criminals, but they want to tell the labor, the workers, right, the labor leaders, the organized labor, that Nigerians are their priority. That is why they can't pay them the minimum wage. But you and I know that you are not their priority. At least if Tinubu came out and he said the new old national anthem, Nigeria we hail thee, is his priority. Bringing it back was his priority. And indeed, is now brought that back through the back door. So this veteran had this to say, is that your problem in Nigeria? Of course, it is the priority of the rogues and the criminals. You are not their priority.
National anthem, I go one palliative. Hey. National anthem, I go one palliative. Niger, na cruise. Nigeria, na better cruise. If you are not in Nigeria, I pity you. You are missing a lot. How many do we count that you are missing? Many of them. Because in Nigeria, from one news to another, Ishinanka, Ibananka, or baby, it's never stopping. All you need is a mobile data and to be active in social media. The small national anthem, where would they manage? You reach your turn, you change them. Why? I repeat, national anthem, I go on a palliative. National anthem, I go on a palliative. Just listen to the sweet old one. Arise, O compatriots, Nigeria's color bay. From this national anthem, Izu, read out that new national anthem for me.
Nigeria, we hail thee.
our own dear native land. Just imagine. This is what is called misplacement of priority. Change of national anthem. What has it got to do with increasing a bag of rice, a liter of fuel, a bag of gari, a tuber of yam? All those things whose prices have increased. What has it got to do with all of them? What has the change of national anthem got to do with the rise of cup of gari? What are the Pupuabu? The price has risen. The poor masses are no longer getting apple as usual. What of yam? Tuber of yam. You know, you knew what it was when it was like this. Now it is still the same thing. The price has gone up. So what can we say can make us happy in all the changes? People are dying. Many are starving. Yet we are channeling our energy into national anthem. Of what use will it be to you and I? No use. Look at roads. What of education? Are we going to eat the national anthem? Well, at this point, all hopes are on God. Let's continue working hard and hope on God. No wonder the previous national anthem ended with, "So help me God." Because we need God in everything we do. All our lives, we need God. I urge you all Nigerians to keep on hoping on God. Only God can save us in this trying situation. No.
Is getting old. Should I say is now old? Aye. When you look at all these veterans now, and then you remember their contribution to our childhood, and then you look at them now, they are old. You're like, oh my God, he's so old. Anyway, what's that? It's called Egwetagu or something, or Egwetagu. I don't know his name, but I kind of know him with some of his slangs. Some of his slangs in movies. Talking about the national anthem. And then the reactions that have been following it. Somebody said the national anthem is set to help Nigerians to understand our situation now, to understand our problem now. So it speaks to us about our problem. I'll leave that person and listen to somebody else who's another. It's a good example of not be all old people. They craze like you have them in Nigeria now. There are actually older people who are very much like intelligent enough to understand that all of the reactions of the young people in Nigeria today to the development in Nigeria is based on the failure of those in charge of Nigeria. The older criminals who will never want to take responsibilities. And yet they still want to be respected. Dr. Akpoki, thank you very much. I'm going to play his clip now and I want you to listen, okay? But I want to quickly ask us who are here, okay? Please view by any means. We are over 2,000 on YouTube as we speak, okay? But yet, less than 1/3 of us have actually really paid their own offering. So if you are watching me on YouTube or on Facebook, could you take a moment while you watch this video? Could you take a moment to go like the video now? Let's see if we can take that to 1,000 likes. Let's go get checked out. Dr. Akpoki.
I'm strongly against the killing of any person. Soldiers being killed by civilians, non-state actors in Nigeria is not acceptable. Civilians being killed by military personnel extrajudicially is not acceptable. I detest violence. I detest people. It's against nature. Number 2, every separatist movement, liberation movement, agitation that started with military action has always been resolved on the negotiating table. Why don't people want to start with the negotiating table? It's because of pride, hatred, and misinformation. If Boko Haram fighters who are repentant can be inducted into the Nigerian army, why can't amnesty be granted to Nnamdi Kanu? If you grant him amnesty, you will douse the tension and the anger in the East. The federal government as it is today should not delude themselves that they can crush any resistance movement. History has not proven them to be able to do that. We've not been able to do that with Boko Haram agitators. We've not been able to do that with bandits, herdsmen, with kidnappers. We've not been able to do that with Yoruba nation agitators. They recently invaded a government house. Why would the government not call these people from these different regions, meet with them, find out their anger and why they are agitating, and then settle with them so that we can live harmoniously together? The third thing I want to say, if you break Nigeria into family units, the same character traits that we have will be in those family units. You are not going to import angels into Duduwa Republic, into Biafra, into Arewa Republic. It's the same exploitative oligarchs and elites that will still come on top and rule over you wherever you break to. The President General of a village died recently. He collapsed. About 17 million was seen in his house. Bags of salt were seen there. Bags of beans were already growing in his house. Dried meat were getting rotten. And there were so many poor people in that community that he was supposed to distribute things to. He did not distribute to. He died leaving them behind, rotting. That's how the mindset of the typical Nigerian elite is. Whether they are from Biafra, whether they are from Oduduwa, whether they are from Arewa, whether they are from minorities, the same greedy elites will emerge in every place. Let's think of how we can resolve and improve on the present system instead of going to destroy ourselves. Liberation movements are very catastrophic, extremely destructive, and the Igbos have a lot to lose. Remember the abandoned properties issue in Port Harcourt. Remember the deaths that followed during the Civil War.
Okay. Before people begin to hate you, he is giving his own honest opinion here. You do not have to agree with him. I do not agree with some of that now. Okay. So, Esa, we are interested in trying it out. That's the point. We are interested. Enough of the gaslighting of what is going to happen to us if Nigeria break up. Dr. Akpoti, when Nigeria break up, we will find out if the elites from all of the tribes, all of the ethnic, the regions, right, if they would usurp the people that are actually fighting for a self-rule. I'm talking about presently, they all want Nigeria. And they are doing everything to ensure that Nigeria never breaks. Now, we are now talking about a group of people who actually wanted their own countries, right? Do you really think if they finally fight to the point of getting it, they will then allow those who hunt them, those who jail them, those who killed them when they were asking for their own country? Do you think it's going to be easier for them to now go over and rule over them? It's not going to happen. So, doctor, I get you. One of the things that make a lot of people believe, and listen, there's nothing called the abandoned property in this manner. This is one of the things that some people need to remember, that you cannot use it on people. You cannot keep threatening people with, oh, you have a lot to lose. All your properties here and there. That is criminal. And that is typical Nigerian way. When a country breaks up, it doesn't mean people can't choose where they still want to live in that, that broken up countries. And if they choose to go back to their own country, they have the right to sell their properties. That doesn't make them enemies right away. Referendum is not war. It's not a call for war. It's not enmity. Older generation, you need to begin to you need to begin to unlearn a lot of things you grew up believing. They are not real. They're not true. And we want you to stop passing that on now. Stop telling us that we are going to suffer, we are going to be this, we are going to be that when Nigeria breaks. When minority this, minority, stop that nonsense now, okay? And stop telling us what you yourself were so afraid to try. You are afraid of failing, right? You are afraid of failing in a new place, in a new country, where you have your destiny in your own hands. Elderly people, that you are afraid of failing, even though you are already failing in the one you are clinging on to, this contraption called Nigeria. But you want us to be more worried about the one you are so scared of trying. We know why a majority of them are scared. It is because Nigeria, it is still the one that is feeding some of them. Nigeria good, Nigeria no good. Some of them still depend on what they get from inside that contraption. If it breaks, that means some of them would have to start all over again. Something they are not used to. That is working for their own real, So, thank you very much, Dr. Akpoki. I don't want people to not like you, okay? Not on this platform. We like you. And I'm even contemplating of bringing him here to come and have him share this, pretty much brilliant opinions for the younger people. And if you see my video, sir, don't ever talk like that anymore, okay? Don't ever use that your very respected voice, okay, to promote this one Nigeria this way. Promote your one Nigeria. Doctor, don't ever try to rubbish the agitation for self-rule, because they are the consequences of a failed system. A lot of us don't want to help you save Nigeria anymore. If there's anything to save in Nigeria, is to actually encourage all of the ethnic nationalities, the tribes, to come together and say and discuss if they still want to be part of this contraption or not. Enough of all this gaslighting, man. Enough. Now, a little bit away from governments now. You see where we kind of do try to not want to blame the criminals in Nigeria alone. There are criminals. Sometimes we do say, not sometimes, we actually agree that the criminals in Nigeria and criminally minded people running or ruining Nigeria, they are mostly the reflection of the people they are leading to. An average Nigerian is so criminally minded that sometimes when they, most times when they do all of their criminal acts and then illegality, they actually don't consider them as illegality. They just feel like, but is that the same thing like people where they steal billion, kind of. And that's why it is easier for them. Oh, excuse me, that's a rule. So that's why it's easier for them to easily, right, vote and support their criminals. They will defend them too. Take a look at this. Not all of it is about government. When they don't do it, we say they are not doing it. But when they finally did it, and then you have vandals. I mean, what do you call this? Somewhere in there, they said the second Niger bridge, the ones that is yet to be completed. But But it is presented as if to say it's completed and it is working. But can you believe that some people who are not mad will go onto that bridge in that Onitsha, Anambra, and they will go onto this bridge and remove the manhole, remove the bridge joiner, and then we probably would still want to blame government. I wish they find this guy. This is evil. Watch this.
Okay, call this thing for me. Hold this thing. Just hold them. Ibo. Asim Nkonye Chiyazel. You see my face. Thank you. Neya Aketa, ne this thing. Zero this thing. Igwa Aketa abo. Na here new bridge alolofo. This is new bridge alolofo. Onwelo onye obuna gwala ebe a na abani ama nwa accident. Ife ndi bega anu nwa doba. Amalo monde ayon condemn. Mano mmadu na bi ebupu. Ife adobalo. This thing, you know how much they say this thing. You go sell them for iron condemn. Sure. They don't first carry this one. Come to this side. Say bugonka. Iwalu speed na abiana bani. Bogadam tire gada no deba make ye nine. So you open na bogote na bridge. Ne luna onum poga bridge. Emalo say bugonka. They don't go sell them. As they ship this one now. They won't carry now. Small time now. Fajel.